Hey everyone, what's up? It's your host here with Visa Experts. You see that? That's the New York City skyline, one of the most iconic skylines in the world. And hey, Los Angeles ain't so bad either, right? And let's not forget the historical monuments of Washington, D.C. Millions of people dream of experiencing the US, and that's where we come in. Planning a trip to the US for business or tourism? Maybe you're a little stressed about that visa interview. Trust me, I get it. The visa process can seem like a huge hurdle, but don't sweat it. Today, I'm going to break down the entire B1/B2 visa interview process, step by step, so you can walk into that embassy with total confidence. Alright, before we dive into the nitty-gritty, let's understand what that visa officer is actually looking for. See, their job isn't to trip you up or make things difficult. They're just trying to verify a few key things. First, they want to make sure your intentions for visiting the US are legitimate. Are you genuinely there for business or tourism? Or do you have other plans? They've heard it all, trust me. Second, they need to see strong ties to your home country. This means proving you have compelling reasons to return after your trip, whether it's your job, your business, your family, or even property you own. And finally, they want to make sure you're financially stable enough to support yourself during your stay. That means demonstrating you can actually afford this trip without relying on US resources. Think of it like this. You're basically pitching yourself as a visitor. You want to convince them you're a low-risk applicant who will follow the rules, enjoy their time in the US, and then return home as planned. It's all about building trust and credibility. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Easier said than done, right? But here's the thing, with the right preparation and mindset, you can absolutely ace this interview. Let's say, for example, they ask you, why do you want to visit the US? Now, you don't want to give them a vague answer like, just to see the sights and experience America. That's not going to cut it. Instead, be specific and confident. Tell them exactly what you plan to do. For instance, I'm attending a major tech conference in San Francisco for a week to explore new business opportunities. And then I'm taking 5 days to visit some national parks before heading back home. See the difference? You've shown them a clear purpose, a defined itinerary, and a definite return date. Okay, let's talk documents. Just like prepping for a big presentation, you don't want to walk into your visa interview empty-handed. Having all your ducks in a row shows the visa officer you're organized, prepared, and serious about your application. So what do you absolutely need? First and foremost, your passport. Make sure it's valid for at least 6 months beyond your intended stay in the US. Seems obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people overlook this. Next, you'll need your DS-160 confirmation page. This is basically your visa application receipt. Proof that you've filled out the online application and paid the fee. Keep it safe and bring it with you. Of course, don't forget your appointment confirmation. This proves you actually have an interview scheduled and you're not just showing up unannounced. Now let's talk about the money stuff. You need to show them you've got this trip covered financially. Bring bank statements from the last 3 to 6 months to demonstrate you have enough funds for your travel expenses, accommodation, and any other activities you've planned. A detailed travel itinerary is crucial. This outlines your day-to-day plans, including flights, accommodation bookings, and any tours or events you'll be attending. It shows the visa officer you have a structured plan and aren't just wandering aimlessly. And here's the thing, sometimes you need a little extra something to strengthen your case. Depending on your situation, this could be a letter of invitation from a business contact in the US, proof of property ownership in your home country, or even a letter from your employer stating your job position and salary. Remember, it's always better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. Alright, let's talk about the interview itself. Remember, confidence is key here, but so is clarity. The visa officer is interviewing tons of people every single day. They don't have time for long, rambling answers. Your goal is to be concise, direct, and to the point. Think of it like a friendly, professional conversation, not an interrogation. When they ask you a question, take a moment to understand what they're really asking, and then answer honestly and directly. Avoid going off on tangents or providing unnecessary details. For example, if they ask about your plans in the US, don't say something like, well, I'm thinking of visiting a few different states, maybe checking out some potential job opportunities, and possibly even staying longer if I really like it. See how that sounds unsure and all over the place? Instead, a better answer would be, I'll be attending a 2-week marketing conference in Las Vegas for professional development, and then I'm spending a week exploring California before returning home on date. See how much stronger that sounds? You've clearly stated your purpose, your itinerary, and your return date. Short, sweet, and to the point. Remember, the more confident and prepared you appear, the smoother the interview process will be. Now, let's talk about one of the most important aspects of your visa application: demonstrating strong ties to your home country. Remember, the visa officer needs to be convinced that you have compelling reasons to return home after your trip. They need to see that you're not just trying to use a tourist visa as a way to sneak into the US permanently. So, how do you prove these ties? Well, it all comes down to your individual circumstances. If you have a stable job, bring a letter from your employer stating your position, salary, and how long you've been employed. If you own a business, bring business registration documents, tax returns, and even photos of your business. Family ties are incredibly important too. If you have a spouse, children, or elderly parents who depend on you, highlight that. Mention them in your interview and be prepared to show photos or even letters from them. Owning property in your home country is another strong tie. Bring property deeds, mortgage documents, or lease agreements to demonstrate your long-term investment in your home country. The key is to be genuine and specific. Don't just tell them you have ties, show them. Paint a picture of your life back home and why it's important for you to return. Remember, the more convincing you are, the more confident the visa officer will be in approving your application. Alright, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked: your appearance and demeanor during the interview. Remember, first impressions are crucial, and you want to present yourself in the best possible light. Think of it like going to a job interview. You wouldn't show up in ripped jeans and a t-shirt, right? The same principle applies here. Dress professionally and conservatively. A suit and tie for men or a business suit or dress for women is always a safe bet. Make sure your clothes are clean, ironed, and well-fitting. Avoid anything too flashy, revealing, or distracting. Remember, you want the focus to be on your application and your answers, not your outfit. Maintain professional body language throughout the interview. Make eye contact with the visa officer when you're speaking to them, and avoid fidgeting or slouching. Sit up straight, be attentive, and show them you're taking the interview seriously. And most importantly, be confident and positive. Even if you're feeling nervous, try to project an air of calmness and assurance. Smile, be polite, and answer their questions honestly and directly. Remember, the visa officer wants to see that you're a genuine applicant who's excited about the opportunity to visit the US. And there you have it, your ultimate guide to acing that US B1/B2 visa interview. Remember, the process might seem daunting at first, but with the right preparation and a positive mindset, you'll be well on your way to getting that visa approved. Follow these tips, gather your documents, practice your answers, and most importantly, believe in yourself. You've got this. And hey, once you get that visa, you'll be one step closer to experiencing all the amazing things the US has to offer. From the bustling streets of New York City to the sunny beaches of California, the adventure awaits. Good luck with your application, and I'll see you in the next video. Follow these tips, stay confident, and you'll increase your chances of visa approval. Want more visa tips? Like, subscribe, and drop your questions in the comments below. #US visa #B, 1B2, visa #visa, interview #travel tips.